Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Erin and today we are doing my favorite books that I read in 2020. Not every single book that I read in 2020 came out in 2020. Some are new releases, some are older books that I just recently got the time to read, but I compiled my favorite books that I read in 2020. These are my favorites. They all got 5 stars. They all stick out in my head. I remember every single minute of them. I remember how I felt when I read them. These are just the books that made me feel a certain type of way when I was reading them this year. And I actually read 50 books this year, and I keep a tally of all my books on Goodreads. So I read 50 books, which isn't, I don't know, I guess it seems like a lot, but it doesn't seem like a lot. I pretty much read a book a week, so I don't know. I don't know if 50 is considered like a lot or small amounts. I know some people have read like 100 books this year. I don't know if 50 falls into the category of a lot or not. You can let me know in the comments down below. These aren't ranked in any particular order. These are just in the order that I read them. So they're all 5 stars and I love them all, so I couldn't pick a top favorite. I don't think I have a top favorite. And I actually have 10 books here, so this is a top 10 list. So let's just get started. I'm not going to go into too much detail on each book, but I do have individual reviews on each of these. So first up is Voices in the Snow by Darcy Coates. This was my first Darcy Coates novel, and I fell in love. I love her writing style. I love her storytelling. I love her characters. This is such a good book. This is actually part of a series called Black Winter, and I've read the first 2 books. There are 2 more, I'm pretty sure, and I haven't read them, and it's driving me insane because both books were really good, and I can't wait to see where this series goes. Yeah, it's really good. It made me fall in love with Darcy Coates and her writing, and I want to read every book by her. I just really like this story. I think it's really good. It made me happy, it made me sad, it made me feel everything that I want to feel when I'm reading. So that's the reason I gave it a 5 out of 5, and also one of the reasons why it's in my top 10. Up next is Come Closer by Sarah Gran. This book is, I didn't think I was going to love this book as much as I did when I first started it. This is very much, are they experiencing paranormal activity or is it more psychological? And sometimes these books can really aggravate me and annoy me and make me frustrated, but this book had such a way of doing that trope that made me love it. And I had one mindset while I was reading this. I did believe that this was paranormal. I know some people probably don't, but just because of the things that happened, I was more of that mindset, which is why I think I ended up liking it so much. So it was really well done. It was very creepy and unnerving, and just it was a very well done story, and I really liked it. Next up, we have Dear Laura by Gemma Amor. This book has become one of my all-time favorite books in the history of books. I mean, this is one of my favorites now. This book is so creepy, so terrifying, so gut-wrenching, so, I don't know, it's so spooky and it's exactly what I want. It's more realistic horror, which I personally love. That's my favorite type, and I just love this so much. If you're a fan of Pen Pal by Dathan Auerbach, which is one of my favorite horror books of all time, please pick this up. It is so reminiscent of Pen Pal, and if you like Pen Pal, I definitely think you'll like this. This is about Laura, who witnesses her best friend go missing, and every year on her birthday she receives a letter indicating that the person writing the letter knows where her friend is. It's so good. Gemma Amor is fantastic. I need to read more of her writing because this is seriously so good, and oh my god, I love this. I love this so much. It's so twisted, and It's so short and it just packs a punch, and God, I love it so much. I highly, highly, highly recommend. Next up we have Cirque Berserk by Jessica Guess. This book is so much fun. It's an 80s slasher. It's beginning to end just so fun and good, and it has all the 80s feels and vibes and fun and silliness that I loved, but it has such good slasher qualities, and it has a very good plot. If you're someone who doesn't gravitate towards slashers because the plots are very similar or they're very repetitive or whatever, I personally like that. I love slashers. But if you don't tend to gravitate towards slashers because of that, I highly recommend checking this out because it's a very fun and different type of slasher, and it's just really, 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 really good. I really like this one. So much fun. Next up is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slang Vampires by Grady Hendrix. This is a book I picked up with the intention that I wasn't going to love it. There was a lot of hype around this book, and I'm not a huge fan of vampires. It's just not really my thing. Zombies, vampires, they're just very repetitive to me. They're very overdone. I just think that they're very boring. This book made me cry. This book made me laugh. This book made me so anxious. This book consumed me. Oh my gosh, this is probably... Oh, it fell off. You gotta be kidding. Oh my god. My banner just fell. It keeps falling. I'm not gonna fix it right now, so yeah. Sorry about that. I really just didn't think I was going to like this book, and I think this is probably my favorite Grady Hendrix book by far. It's a close call between My Best Friend's Exorcism and this one, but I really, really liked this one. I know some people didn't, and I know some people loved it, and I definitely fall into the category where I absolutely loved it. It's just so much fun. It's a very different type of vampire story. If you're like me and you don't gravitate towards vampires because they're very overdone and very boring and generic and then I definitely recommend picking this up because it's such a unique twist on vampires, and I just loved every second of it. Next up we have True Crime by Samantha Kolyasnik. I think that's how you say her last name. I literally think I said that in my review as well. I hope that's how you say it. This is a very gruesome, brutal, very disturbing story, but it's so good. This story is about Susie and her brother Lim, who live with their abusive mom, and when the abuse gets too much to handle, Susie snaps, and this starts a murder spree by the brother and sister duo. It's very gruesome, disturbing, very, very dark, so if that's not kind of your thing, then I would probably not check this out, but it's very, very good. And it's very short, so, you know, it's a very easy read. Next up we have Unboxed by Brianna Morgan. This was probably the most unique and most creative read I had this year. This is a play, but it is a horror play, and it includes the dark web. It is so good. It is so much fun. It's not something I ever thought I would see or read or pick up or anything like that. It was very different, but it was so much fun. This introduced me to a new author, Brianna Morgan. I need to check out more of her work. She's a total sweetheart. I follow her on Instagram. She's really, really sweet. She has a new book out. Definitely check her out. Definitely give this a read if you love the dark web and you like plays. So much fun, so different, so cool. Next up, we have another Darcy Coates. I told you guys I love Darcy Coates, and she was introduced to me this year, so I had to read more by her. This is the Caro Hunt by Darcy Coates, obviously, and I read this for Book-A-Ween this year, and this is just so much fun. I don't know how Darcy Coates does it. I don't know how she makes you love characters. I don't know how she puts together this beautiful plot that makes you want to just read forever. I don't understand how she does it. She's just a brilliant writer, and I'm obsessed with her work, and I really need to read more by her because this and Voices in the Snow is pretty much all I've read by her, so I just really need to read more of her stuff because I'm just so in love with everything she writes. But this is a great one. Definitely check out my review if you like haunted houses and seances and spirits. A good haunted house story, I love those, and this is a really fun and very different one actually. So you should check out my full review if you want to know more about it. Next up is Uzumaki by Junji Ito, and this, it blew me away. Oh my god, this was probably one of the most craziest, most surprising stories I read in 2020. It's a whirlwind. It is nothing like I've ever read before. It's unique, it's terrifying, it's just crazy. I mean, seriously, I don't even know what to say about this story. Spirals, you know? Spirals. If you know, you know, okay? Spirals and snails. I'll never look at the same ever again. He's tainted my view of them, so, you know, I love him. He's amazing. His artwork is incredible, and it's so hauntingly beautiful, and I will always be in amazement by his work. The last book, and one of the most recent books I've read, is Gone to See the Riverman by Christopher Triana. This book is dark, it's disturbing, it's gruesome, it's brutal, it's so vile, but in the ways that I appreciate and the ways that I look forward to in horror. And that sounds so weird, I know. This is just such a good realistic horror book. It shows the evil of humanity, it shows the evilness that lies within people, and that's what I love about horror. That's my favorite. It's what I gravitate towards, and this book it's amazing. Please watch my video on it though. There is a lot of things involved in this book, and if you are, you know, not into the dark and the gruesome and the gory and the really disturbing, don't check this out, because it is it's all those things, okay? There's a lot of things in this book that are mentioned and discussed, and it's a lot. So if you don't like that kind of thing, you probably won't like this, but it's a masterpiece. This is such a well done book. It is probably, I know I said I couldn't pick a favorite, this is probably my favorite read of 2020. I loved every second of this book. It was so unnerving and beautiful and scary and frightening and terrifying and all the words put together, okay? That's just what this book is. It's so hard to describe. It is just, it's beautiful. It deserves the hype that it's getting. It deserves it. I've only seen 5-star reviews from people I know, and honestly, it deserves what it's getting. This is an amazing book. It deserves the hype. Please check it out if you like gruesome, terrifying, horrible things. Definitely. Okay? It's really good. There you go, my friends. Those are my favorite books that I read in 2020. Let me know what your favorite read of 2020 was, or what book you're excited to read in 2021. I have a ton that I was wanting to read this year that I never got around to it, so I'm making it a priority to read them in 2021. I'm hoping that 2021 is just a better year all around for reading, for life, for everything. Honestly, 2020 was... No, I mean, it was really bad, very, very stupid and awful and horrible, and probably one of the worst years of many people's lives. So I'm just hoping that 2021 is gonna be really good. Fingers crossed, okay? Let me know if you were surprised by any of my choices, or you knew which books were gonna be in here. I'd like to know who knows me. Did any of you expect these in here? I'd like to know. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this, I guess, maybe like monthly favorites or something like that. Monthly favorite books, I'm not really sure. Just let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It lets me know what kind of content you enjoy from me. That way I can keep providing you with that kind of content. feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We can become friends, talk about books, makeup, movies, horror, all kinds of things. I do a lot on this channel, so hopefully there's something for everyone. And with that being said, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you on Wednesday with another video.